The next step in this project is to add the windows and doors along the exterior walls. The floor plan we have has exterior dimensions, and the windows are dimensioned to the beginning and the end of their opening. So we need to go in and change the temporary dimensions. So as we're placing the windows, it's following the dimensions that we have on our floor plan. So we're going to go to Manage, Additional Settings, Annotations, and Temporary Dimensions. We want to make sure that Faces is selected, so that would be the face of the wall, and that openings are selected versus center lines. So let's begin by adding the windows to the south wall. So we need to go to Architecture and Window. In the window that we need, we actually have to load. So we're going to go to Load Family, click on US Imperial, and pull up the Windows folder. Now the window that we need is a window double hung double. So here's the window. So I'm going to open that. The next thing that it's going to ask me, the information it's going to need is the size of the window. And the window that we need is actually 56 inches wide by 62 inches high. I'll go down here. And it's this one right here, 56 inches wide by 62 inches high. So I'm going to click OK. Now the information I gave you on the windows indicates the head height, which is the top of the window. So I want you to go down here in the setting right here in the project browsers or the properties browser and type in 7 feet. So that every window that you place, that's the window double hung double, will put the top of the window at 7 feet. And then just hit apply. So let's go ahead and place the window. We're going to hit Architecture and Window, make sure we have the correct window selected, and then we'll just place it somewhere on the wall for now. So the dimension on the floor plan states that this window starts 1 foot 6 inches from the edge right here. So from this face. Our temporary dimensions automatically measure it from the face closest to the window, which would be the interior face. So if we're doing the math and we know that our walls are 6 inches, we have 6 inches here plus 1 foot in the interior, then we know that that window is placed correctly. So let's go ahead and place the other window that is 8 feet from this window. So I'll go to Architecture Window. And we know that it's 8 feet from the edge of that window. So I'll go ahead and place that. So we have those two windows placed correctly on the east wall. Okay, now let's place the windows on the south wall, so by the front porch. I'm going to click Architecture and Window. And then we know that that window is 4 feet 5.5 inches from the exterior face, but notice how it's snapping to the interior face of the wall. So I'm going to click the window and place it. And then I'm going to come and click and drag my witness line over. Okay, so now that says 5 feet. So we need to change that to 4 feet 5.5 inches. And there we have the window placed. So that's one thing with the temporary dimensions that's a little frustrating with Revit, is that you can't really select for it to snap to the exterior. It's just snapping to the nearest face. So sometimes you do have to drag those witness lines over. Okay, let's go ahead and add a door. So I'm going to go to Architecture and Door, and I actually need to load the door that we're using for this project. So I'm going to go to Load Family, switch to Doors. I'm going to click on Residential Doors. And the door that we need is towards the bottom of the menu here. It's door exterior, single entry, half glass. So as you click on that, you'll see a picture will appear. Then I'm going to click open. The next thing that it's asking me for is the size of the door. And so we're doing a 3-foot door that's 80 inches high, or 6 foot 8 inches high. So then I would click OK. And it's upgrading the model, and then you can see that the door that I'm inserting appears here in the Properties browser. Okay, so let's go ahead and place the door. Go to Architecture and Door. And I'm actually going to pull my dimensions out here. So as I'm placing the door, I know it's 4 feet 1.5 inches. So I can move my mouse and try to get close to that. Or I can just place the door and then type in 4 feet 1.5 inches. Sometimes that's a little bit easier than moving your mouse back and forth. Now remember, when you're placing the door, if it's swinging the wrong way, you can click those arrows. If it's swinging in the wrong, or if it's hinged on going the wrong direction, you can change that. So it was actually placed correctly, so I'm going to move it back. Okay, so now our door is placed. Now let's go and add the other 2 windows that are right next to this door. So I'm going to click Window, and then go hit Architecture, Window, and then we see that the window double hung double is selected. So now I'm going to place that window, and I know that it is 1 foot 8 inches from the edge of that door, so I'll probably move my mouse over and place that. And then placing the next window, I know they're pretty close together. They're 9 inches apart, so I'll probably move my mouse there. If I can't quite get on that 9 inches, I'll just come here and then change the temporary dimension to 9 inches. And then hit Escape, and all my windows along the front are placed. So another tool that I wanted to show you before we end the session on adding windows and doors is something called Activate Dimensions. So we know that if we click the Modify tool and we select a wall, that we can change these dimensions here. These temporary dimensions, you could just type in something there and it will change the dimension. Also, when you click on a door, those temporary dimensions also appear. But sometimes there'll be objects that you place within Revit where the temporary dimensions will not appear. And so if I click on a window, you notice that the temporary dimensions are not there. But if you click Activate Dimension, then you can see those temporary dimensions and you can edit them just like you would for the doors and the walls. So that's really helpful. So for the rest of this project, you can add the rest of the windows and the doors on your own. Please refer to your project sheet. It gives you all the information on the other windows within this residential floor plan.